And he said he doesn't, or not Danny, I'm sorry. I was looking at Danny on the screen, and he's trying to wheel and deal in our chat right now. But Eddie,
Wow,
Eddie said earlier, where I think he had, I just totally lost my train of thought.
Small talk.
Duh, what a jackass. God. You know, all I could think about was this kid.
Have you ever had a dream that you had you could you do you want you could do so you do.
That was me.
that
I
was
just
perfect.
I got like 3/4 of the way through the sentence, and I just like kept filling in words with what I want to talk about. But anyways, welcome to this week's episode of Small Talk, the show where we talk about absolutely nothing important. I'm your host Dylan, joined by my co-host Sean and Eddie.
How's it going, guys?
First off, we want to thank our friends over at Waddle Scrapyard for sponsoring this week's episode of Small Talk. And I am not gonna forget what I want to do, but during Smaller Talk today, what I'm going to do, I kind of started here. I'm going to kind of do a little bit of an unboxing for Mezco's Black Skull. We talked about it last episode. So I'm going to kind of work into that as we get going on Smaller Talk. So the only thing I had put on there that I was thinking about that was kind of interesting, or not interesting, but annoying. And it kind of plays off of what we beat to freaking death last episode when we talked about like reissues and things like that. This one, what I thought my subject was trouble attaining exclusives or tough to find figures off of releases. So that is relevant to me, again, because of a Mezco release that they had just yesterday, I believe, and I missed it. Not the end of the world. It was a very close release to something I already had. But it it stopped and made me think about a couple points when we were bringing up in the reissues, and I think when Eddie was talking about why he gets annoyed sometimes with Mezco is the inability to attain some of their sought after figures, or how hard it is anyways. And I was thinking about that, that I don't know, a lot of people were very, very angry after this last Mezco release. So the one I'm referring to is Hazard Squad Gold Commander Gomez. And it's the same one as the blue Hazard Squad Gomez, pretty much, just like I think like a brown and yellowish gold colors, pretty much repainted. But yeah, a lot of people had sight issues. I had issues even hopping on the wait list like a half hour after he came out. I had just had adult stuff, I wasn't able to grab him. But have you guys ever had experience with that? How about you, Sean?
With just like acquiring an exclusive offline or what?
Yeah, just like an exclusive that you're trying to find it in like Walmart or Target. Hard to find figures that you just never were able to find. Obviously, because scalpers play a big deal into people overbuying. But
yeah, I mean,
like that.
Like I kind of, working at a school, you don't always get to get away. And by the time you're out, it's like almost like 4 or 5 o'clock, right? And you don't get to go to the stores as early as some of those guys. So it's kind of hit or miss. And like, when you see this wave, like, oh, this wave is over here at this Target, or it's at this Walmart, or it's at this place, or it's at GameStop or whatever, right? I'll go just check it out, see what they have. And, you just see a lot of bare walls and stuff, and I try to really go hunting when I'm on vacation during like the holidays and things like that, spring break. I'll get up early, try to head out there. But even then, it's like by that time it's already been pretty cleared out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just putting the box up to
nice.
the screen. But do you have a figure that you're specifically talking about?
I remember trying to find the Venom Pull Wave that being a little bit hard, and then out of nowhere it's everywhere, you know. So once I have the figure, it's like it's there, it's at this store, you know. And I think another thing was just like Black Series, you know, just finding the Black Series, the hot Black Series stuff that everybody wants to find, you know, which makes it a lot harder. But
I think the hardest stuff to get in 112 wise is like Mezco is by far the hardest. Mezco, and then I had some problems trying to get like the turtles when they did the turtles and Casey 2-pack. That shit sold out quick, like the first time, and then they ended up like redoing it, and then they gave people the time release and all that, and it was easier. But I think that was a hard one, the NECA turtles, and then I don't know if I never tried to get the Mezco exclusives that often, so I don't usually have a problem, but I know that's what everybody has problems with. And then like Funko Pops. When I collected Funko Pops hard, I had a lot of times where
tell me about that experience, because I've heard nightmares about that.
Because Mezco does this too, where they do like the surprise releases, right? And are they with Mezco? Are they like always the same day of the week?
No, they'll do a lot of Fridays, but they'll do random days for releases. The biggest thing with Mezco is the site issues and the payment processing issues. You'll put in your card, you'll have the funds. It's all the numbers are going to be right because it's a card you've used already, even on their website, and it'll say payment failed, card number invalid, and it's even though it is valid and it is like you shouldn't be an issue. It's the way they process it, so it's a site issue why a lot of people have issues, and then even when it like if a Mezco exclusive like a Gomez lasts like a half hour, 20 minutes, that's a long time. That's like an eternity.
Yeah, when like back when I started collecting Funko, they had every Wednesday they'd have a new release at like 7 a.m. But I think even before they started doing it on Wednesdays, it was random, and like you would just have to check the site every morning. Mm-hmm. The time would usually be 7 a.m. but you'd randomly check and see if there was anything dropping that day. And then I used to have a lot of problems missing out on stuff. But luckily, like with Hot Toys and stuff, I don't have that issue anymore. But
yeah, and that's definitely one thing that took a big adjusting to for me, because I feel like I'm the opposite how most collectors go, where like they start small and then move to Hot Toys. They kind of graduate to Hot Toys, where I went the other way, where I got smaller. Obviously having the show helped, but I was already I wanted to do the show because I was on my way to smaller stuff. And that took a big adjustment, going from Hot Toys where you had a window of a year plus to get whatever you want, down to dealing with having to be able to be signed in, check out, and have your figure bought within 2 minutes of it opening up. And the NECA ones I heard were the biggest nightmare, because that was legit. So NECA was really bad because they used Target and Walmart exclusives and their websites for that, and that was the worst. That was the worst case scenario. That was even worse than Mezco's, because they had no way of blocking out the bots for so long. And they would literally like check out within, or it would literally be sold out within seconds because of the bots. Yeah. And that was an absolute that's why those turtles were so tough to get, because there's so many people that actually didn't have them that wanted them. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. The tough part about this subject is there's a lot of unknowns. Like, who knows why Mezco can't figure out how to process payments correctly? They'll tell you is to use PayPal for their orders or their pre-orders. Well, the only bad thing about that is with PayPal with their pre-orders, they charge up front. They charge the full value right away.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. And I think that was one of the Mezco exclusives. I ordered the Moon Knight. I ordered him on Mezco and PayPal, and I was like expecting it to be the NRD, and it was like the full thing, and I had to email them and be like, wait a minute, why did I get charged already? or something, and they're like, oh, because when you use PayPal, it's a full down payment. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know that no one wants to be pigeonholed into that either. So yeah, it's pretty tough. It's annoying. You as a collector, you want everyone to have what they can get. How many times is Mezco going to release a reskin of Gomez? You're not wrong. They're going to do it as much as people buy it, and to tell you the truth, money speaks for these people, and he just sold out for under, I think, 2 minutes. I think they said somewhere on a website. So, sorry, but people still love him. The nice thing is, they're not, like, he has came out and said, and there is proof that they're not replacing their normal releases. They're still doing the same amount, if not more, normal or comic releases that are outside of their own universe. Those are, as of right now, those are just kind of bonus figures at this point.
Dude, and it's a good thing for them. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Imagine being a company, dude. If Hasbro could make their own like license, their own character that people love, and they released it and it would get bought out every time. Do you know how much money they would make? They save so much money on licensing, and you know, and then because they're like the same character over again, they save money on like using the same accessories or same casts and things like that. So I think it's cool for them that they did that. I just think it's hype, and the hype bugs me. Like, it's definitely a lot of hype. People buy it just because it's Gomez, and I'm like, dude, do you even need this? Or like, or they buy it just to resell it. See, that's cool. I like the henchman more than I like Gomez, honestly.
Same, and I've always said that I buy Gomez for the accessories and the outfits and pretty much everything else, because you can always they're starting to come out with like they came out with a head set where it was just like $15 for two heads that you can just put on any of their Mezco figures, and that's why I like Gomez figures. I think that's where the hype started from. Yeah, now it's definitely fed off of the hype. You're right there. And yeah, you would think so. Mark said for Mezco's price, they should be able to hire some IT guys and get some bandwidth. You would think, like I said, there's a whole lot of unknowns there that I wish that we would know more about. But and then Mark, to get something behind me, you don't want to know what you got to do to get something on the wall behind me. I'm just kidding. I actually got stuff coming up here soon. I got some stuff laid out. I just haven't decided where I want to put it all in the room. I was actually gonna try and have stuff up since I took so much shit last show for it. I was gonna try and have shit ready to go, and the last couple weeks just got away from me. But Mark said, I wish Mezco would create a character without a bug head. Not a fan of the design, but like original figures. Yeah, so they are. Hazard Squad, they're coming out with like a dude with a rat head, a dude with like a lizard head. You got these black skulls, which, yes, boring, but they, like I said, they can be used for anything. And the other thing that they are, I don't know. Yeah, I would say overall the Gomez is definitely hype nowadays. Because at this point, every time I buy a Mezco, I feel half stupid because I'm getting a lot of the same things. I've skipped on Gomez's in the past because it was just a reskin. That's why I wasn't super angry about missing this last one, but it would have been.
You could really do so much with it, though, you know? Like what you were saying earlier, like switching stuff out and...
Exactly, and that's why I got them. They're some of the better... The bodies, for the size of them, are so good. Like, the posability and what you're able to create for poses with them. That, like I said, the soft goods, I know they're 1/12 scale. So many Hot Toy fanboys would argue with me, but nobody does soft goods better than Mezco. Yeah. And I will say their pictures sometimes aren't good at showing that, but they do it very well. Mm-hmm. But, anyways, I just kind of wanted to talk about that because that's like a consistent issue. Things are getting better, like you said, Eddie. NECA has really listened to the fans, and they've created like pre-order windows to try and combat that, and like no return policies, limits, things like that. But obviously, people set up bots anyways for even on limit ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a good and bad thing. It's hit or miss because that plays into the collectability of it. I mean, some people really care about how collectible it is, and when it's hard to get like that, it definitely has collectability. It's just the hobby has gotten so big lately that it's not just collecting anymore. People are reselling, and that kind of sucks. But if you care that much, be on your toes. You know, be ready to get that figure that you need.
Yeah, like the point, like I can provide pointers all day long. You know, like sign in ahead, like 5 to 10 minutes ahead of time. Be ready with your card on hand because how I get it to work on Mezco is I delete my card and as I'm checking out, I re-enter my card like I never had one in there in the first place. If you manually do it for whatever reason, it works then. But
you do pretty good though, Dylan. Like every time I know in the past when people are like, "I've missed it," you're always there to message them like, "Hey, I got 2. Let me know if you need one." Like, dude, you're pretty good at it.
It, like I said, it was a hard learning curve. It was something I was not used to doing with Hot Toys, so I had to learn pretty quick. Because the one where I really learned was when I didn't get one of my favorites that they've done. It was the Onyx Batman, where it was like kind of like the shiny, almost like a 1989 looking version Batman, but their version of it. That was one of my favorites, and I missed out on that one because I didn't know how to do pre-orders on their website, and he sold out within minutes. And so from there, I was like, okay, I got to figure some shit out. But yeah, in Ekwan, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Has a good point good call out that April O'Neil actress fought for her figure to be an easy to obtain release. No one else does that. Exactly. They said, so if you don't know what he's talking about NECA is making a figure for April O'Neil from TMNT. And the actress who signed over her rights said essentially, yes, you can make this figure, but I want to be heavily involved and collectors need to be able to get this figure. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Really cool thing for them to do and start. And it'd be nice for, actors and actresses to like that or do that more often, I guess, per se. But, no, there's very few that want to be that involved. They just want the
April,
money.
But she's probably got some free time on her hands. That's why she's able to do
For sure.
that,
For sure. I haven't seen her in anything since
Scarlett
then.
Johansson or whoever plays Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, I don't think they're going to have time to be like, hey, guys, I need people to be able to buy my figure.
Yeah. No, exactly right.
They don't.
I already pulled this thing out, but I was futzing with the submachine gun.
I thought you broke it right now.
No.
You pulled it out and snapped it. I was like,
I did, but it's just like you can't see, but it's like little circles. Yeah. And then if anyone doesn't know, even like the Mezco clips come out and
dude, they're literally like mini Hot Toys. That's what they are. If they did movie stuff, I'd be screwed. Because I would like it too, like they do the Hellboy stuff. I like that, the movie Hellboy stuff, and they did the Punisher. That was really cool. So when they do like shows and movie stuff, I really like it.
They used to be pretty hit and miss on the likeness of actors, actresses. Like I think they did Thor, which wasn't the greatest from
they did
Thor 3.
Yeah.
But it still was probably the best you would find for that size. But I think that they've really refined it over the last couple of years. Mark's statement saying that NECA seems to put in a little extra work for their TMNT figures. They do now. They didn't always. They're doing it because they've had to pivot and adjust. They took a lot of flack for years about their TMNT figures. But we can move on to, Sean, your subject that you kind of wanted to talk about. One of the things that you were interested in talking about is why collecting what you do and figures you like why you think people that like certain figures, like maybe even though they haven't read the comics or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah, it was just something I was thinking about because, being fairly new to like the figure game and all that kind of stuff and statues, maybe within like the last year and a half or so, I hear a lot of collectors like, well, I never read the comics, and I know there's like shows, there's like TV shows and there's other movies and things like that. But then you go there to like a store like Target or something like that, and they're all bought out, So
Yeah.
at that point, I'm kind of thinking like, so are you buying it because it's Iron Man, or are you buying it because it's a cool figure, or like you like the design of the engineering of the actual figure itself and stuff? And I was just kind of thinking like, for someone like who maybe either grew up with the comics or even, just got into the comics later on and stuff, like what really pushes them to go out there and find these figures. And like you were kind of saying with like the scalpers and stuff like that, they just kind of go out because they're just trying to make the money or whatever. But like for collectors who just like figures in general.
Yeah. I could talk about this with you because I didn't grow up reading comics. I'm a movie guy. Like,
No.
I read comics later when I
So
started
did
getting into things, but that's that's what I'm into is movies. So for me, like, I haven't read any Daredevil or Iron Fist comics. I got Daredevil and Iron Fist because I like those characters from the show, and I grew up. I know everybody hates the Ben Affleck Daredevil, but I like that movie a lot. So, and Daredevil, like,
I love that movie.
yeah, thanks. Man. Right, that's a good movie, I think, anyway. But I grew up wearing glasses and shit, so I liked Daredevil because I was like, oh, here's a superhero who's blind. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. But I didn't read any comics. I watched the movie and I love Daredevil now. I ended up reading Zdarsky's Daredevil, so I got into comics like that. But the comic stuff is cooler, dude. The figures are better. I think that's what it is. You can be into movie stuff, but you don't get a lot of cool movie figures. I mean, not until recently. You know what I mean? The comic stuff has always been better figures, I think, and more figures. You don't get figures for every movie. So, and like the statues, like I didn't read any. Why am I blanking on names right now?
Thor.
Yeah. Why am I blanking on his fucking name?
I know who you're talking about. The horse face looking dude.
Yeah. Beta Ray Bill. God.
Yeah.
I'm not eating today. I'm doing a juice cleanse, so I'm blaming it on that. I haven't had nourishment.
Oh, Jesus.
But even
so
like that
I can't
though,
think
like,
correctly, but I
even
haven't
with,
read
like,
any
Beta
of his
Ray.
comics, and I love the statue.
Well, right, yeah, like even like Beta Ray, like you really didn't see too much of him in any older like animated Marvel cartoon,
Yeah.
So but like that's a badass statue that you have, like he just looks good,
Yeah.
and stuff, and I guess I was kind of more thinking along the lines of like what you were saying with the comic figures are just that much better or whatever, but like they were talking the other night on Collecting Weekly about the Iron Man Hot Toys that just came that they announced.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty down for that. Like it looks odd, but it kind of looks cool at the same time, and just to have something comic book version like that is huge for me, like I'm definitely picking that up. Not to mention the tease for the War Machine, like that I'm going to buy the Iron Man because I want to buy the War Machine.
Mm-hmm. And it's different, right? It's different than all the other stuff they're doing, so it's cool for them,
So what this sounds like to me, correct me if I'm wrong, but Sean wants a little a little respect on the name. You're saying this but not really saying this, but you you're almost kind of saying in a roundabout way that we have figures because of the comics, and then when we get comic figures, it's in the hot toy game anyways, people shit on the comic book figures. And it's like, you guys wouldn't have these if it wasn't for the comics, so appreciate this. I'm a comic book fan, I like this.
Well,
There are fans
know,
out there.
But like, if you're not a fan of Iron Man, like I am, you know, you're probably gonna be like, yeah, that's ugly. Like, in what world does Iron Man look like that? You know what I mean? But it's also kind of
If
like,
you're not a fan of the comic.
if you're not a fan of the comics,
Yeah.
then even if you are and you didn't like it, at least you had some basis off of why you didn't like it.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
And
So can you talk about why he's got the clear?
from what I can,
No, I was gonna tell you. I wondered the same thing, and I was gonna ask you that too.
Yeah, he froze. He didn't stop. He froze.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Oh, I
right
thought
when you
was
said
like-
yes, he froze. So I don't know how the hell that happened, but yeah, that was weird. I didn't know. I didn't know why it came like that. Because I've seen comics of Iron Man. I haven't read any Iron Man comics, but I don't remember that happening.
So even with the good amount of oh, give me 1 second. I'm gonna ping Sean.
All right.
It almost seems like he like lost internet or something.
Maybe.
But it almost, you can remove some of them, right?
You can.
Some
I
of
think
the
just the top
plastic
chest
pieces?
part. It looked like you could remove the chest, like every Iron Man hot toy can. So you could take that plastic piece off, but you still have the abs. I don't think you can remove the abs, and I think you can remove where the flares are. But you still have the rest of it, so it would look kind of weird, I think, if you took just the chest off and still have the other plastic bits.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will have to ask Sean when he gets back in here, but
He said his internet cut out on him, I guess.
oh, it did. I don't
Yeah.
have my phone.
There he
close
goes.
to me. There he is.
my internet has been horrible lately.
All right. That's fine. Just let us know if we should remove, because I totally just thought you were waiting for me to get done talking. So back to his question, Sean. Do you know why it looks like that with the clear plastic piece? Is that like an effect, or is that actually how he looks in some of the comics?
So I did a lot of thinking about it, and I can remember like times in the animated series where he kind of has like this vibrating kind of look off of his armor and stuff. And then digging a little bit deeper, there was a issue of Iron Man Volume 3, I think it was, from the third volume, issue 22, where he has the Thor, I think it's called the Thor Buster, and he's in Asgard, and they give him this new crystallized power source.
Yep.
And they started using the power source as a way to better run the Iron Man suit as opposed to the power source he has on Earth.
Yeah.
But it looks
Gotcha.
more like a shield to me, and then, like, if I remember correctly, you know, like it looks like some kind of like almost like it looks like a shield to me, like something from the animated series, but that's the closest I could find to it. Everything else screams Iron Man, like the face plates. A lot of those face plates were early.
the face looks sick. Yeah, I think.
They're all good. I like every single one of them, and there are a lot of those are from like Tales of Suspense, and then they kind of revamped it after or in like the second volume of Iron Man, after they went like 332 issues. But yeah, I'm just kind of like it's cool that you don't like it, whatever. I don't care, but like, what's your basis?
Yeah.
You know, like, why, like, if you haven't read the comics or you don't really know it, or you know what I mean?
So
It was just a
I think,
thought that popped in my head.
yeah, I think mainly with a lot of people with it, it was just that it didn't translate it well. So I know this is small talk. We're kind of getting into 6 scale stuff,
Right.
But I'll share out my screen here in a second on the figure we're talking. We're talking about the Hot Toys Iron Man Origin Collection comic masterpiece. It's a die-cast figure. Give me 1 second. Right here. This is what we're talking about.
Oh, I didn't even notice that it had it on the gauntlets and the head too.
Yeah,
Is it
and
on
I
the
know
head?
that you can
Oh, you can remove the gauntlet ones then.
and the head. It's like almost an entire film.
See, I wish they made it removable, like all of it
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, because they leave it here. So I know what a lot of people are saying, Sean, is they just didn't think it translated all that well to a figure. But I
Right.
think it. I think,
And
also,
I know like PIA, he does that kind of stuff, you know. So I get it, you know.
yeah,
I think
And
it
I
looks cool. I didn't think the
I
plastic
think so, too.
looked bad at all. I thought it was cool that they did it that way. And it kind of like makes it look, I don't know, like the mech underneath it. Like they did like some like line, you know what I mean? Like the mechanical
Mhm.
look underneath it.
Right.
Like I thought it looked cool.
There's
and I
a
bet you
Bowen-
with the light up, it'll look cool too.
Yep.
Like it'll
Yeah.
translate well with the light up probably.
There's a Bowen statue that's very similar to this, and I think the clear crystal pieces do a good job at maybe like doling out some of the color, and it kind of reminds me of that Bowen statue where it's kind of like a deep gold, a deep red, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just a thought that had popped in my head, and like, well, you know,
Another
not being
thing-
familiar with the books, where you're just basing it off of looks and stuff like that, you know?
yeah. And I guess kind of back to your point, like why do we collect what we do and figures we like? That the why we choose, that is a big, like I've said it before, that's a big reason I chose Mezco, was because I like the comic book. They base it off of comics, but they still give it their Mezco-esque feel. People,
Yeah.
I can't remember what people like call it, how Mezco like changes things up.
Yeah.
But they have their own way of doing things, and I just really like that style. I like the way that they envision and design their figures, and I just always thought that was a good, that I just really like their style from pretty much the beginning, and like the Moon Knight and everything like that. Yeah, you're right, Sean. Just because there's not a movie doesn't mean they're a bad character or anything like that. And to tell you the truth, I've said it before, Moon Knight actually got me to read the Moonlight figure got me to read the Moon Knight comics.
Well,
to
and,
try
like,
and understand the figure.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the MCU film, it got me into wanting to read the comics. You know, I was a fan of Iron Man. Like Iron Man, the first movie made me a fan. I was like, oh, that's my favorite superhero for sure. Because prior to that, I really wasn't into the game at all. You know, I liked
Yeah.
like Power Rangers back in the day, Gargoyles, stuff like that. But like the whole superhero thing was never really my thing until the Marvel movies started coming out. And then when Guardians came in, I was like, you know what? Let me read the comics, see what it's about. And so I read it and I loved it. And I just like dove headfirst into all that stuff. You know, I was buying books left and right. Started getting into the older vintage stuff, the Silver Age, Golden Age stuff like that. And then that kind of led me to like, well, you know what? It's cool to have a comic book, but it would be pretty cool to have something to sit on a shelf and look cool and be able to mess with a figure and kind of do the same thing. Like, you know, I remember this one panel and it looked like this, and, you know, have a figure to kind of emulate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is cool to kind of have something to represent that. And like I said, the movies, as we've noticed, take their sweet time introducing us to characters. So like,
Yeah.
you know, like X-Men and a lot of the classic suits. Like even back in the day, even though I grew up with those X-Men movies, I was never a humongous fan of them. I wasn't really until First Class, and I actually love the X-Men because of the cartoon, but never enough to like pay much attention there. But I get what you're saying there. Did you guys get anything new, small, recently, or anything like that?
Not figure wise, but I did get this lunchbox that I'm happy about.
So did you find that at like a rummage sale,
That's
or
cool.
is that like a new?
Nah, so I was just on the marketplace on Facebook, and I saw this lady. She had it up for sale out of Georgia, and I messaged her, and I was like asking her all these questions, and I was like, she answered all the right questions. So
Like,
So I
did she
bought it.
use
I mean, and she's actually she has a small soldiers metal lunchbox that
I just
she's
watched
gonna.
that movie.
Oh, I love it, man.
Again.
I love small soldiers, and so she's gonna send me that one soon too, and it has the thermos, and it's just kind of cool because it just kind of walking into the school and stuff with it. The kids get all like excited and they're like, "Oh, coach, cool lunchbox," you know. So like, kind of getting down to their level, but still being the teacher kind of thing, you know. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna buy that small soldiers lunchbox. I had her look for the old school Marvel superheroes one, and she wanted like $80 for it, and it's probably a fair price. But I didn't want to spend 80 right there after I spent, what was this? I think it was like 45 or something like that, and then the other one's gonna be like 30. So
Yeah,
and then I got some Pokemon cards today. Just the
Oh yeah. So
you
which
can't
which
find
ones are
them
they?
anywhere. So I was like, oh, I'll pick some up because I remember last time I said, I'm pull them, see what I get, kind of thing. Just kind of have fun with it.
Which ones are they?
These are the battle styles from Sword and Shield.
Are you gonna open them?
Yeah, I could open one right now.
Yeah. Okay. I was just
Open
gonna
it
say,
live.
Let me-
Live
Yeah.
card unboxing.
Oh, I know,
Do it
right?
live.
We're going down that road now. Yeah, you go ahead. I'm gonna open this up so it doesn't make too much noise.
I got a new MAFEX figure when I was in Texas.
What? Which
Yeah,
one?
I got the Michael Jordan in the Bulls away uniform.
Hold on. Blow your screen up.
I just saw this up for sale.
Hell yes.
Hey, it's cool though. Michael Jordan's gonna induct Kobe
Is he?
to the Hall of Fame. Yep.
That is awesome. Eddie, where'd you find him at there in San Antonio?
Stevens. We went to
Nice.
Stevens Collectibles and we went to Buddy's something. Maybe it's Buddy's Collectibles or Buddy's something. But at Stevens, I know Stevens is a good friend of the show and everything, and
Yeah.
that's where Zach and Dean ordered their stuff. So I wanted to support them and stuff. So I saw that figure there, and I always kind of wanted it when MAFEX released it, and I'm always iffy about collecting 112 stuff and going back to smaller scale stuff, and
That's a good
so
solo.
I don't
one
pick
that
it
you
up,
can
but
do.
yeah, I picked it up and I love it. And because I picked it up, I went down the rabbit hole of ordering the other one that they announced in the All-Star game jersey.
Yeah, or Team USA, right?
Yeah, Team
Yeah.
USA jersey.
Nothing
and
crazy
So I
from this
ordered
one.
that on Big Bad.
The Dream Team one, right?
Yeah, and then
90
I
or
ordered.
91.
I went Michael crazy because I love this figure. I wanted that one, but I also got the Enter stuff, like the 1/9 scale one and the
You-
1/6
you
scale
bought 'em?
ones. I pre-ordered
like-
them.
Oh my. So right after I got done saying, "Oh, that's a good figure that you can have solo, that you don't have to go
No,
into the
yeah,
rabbit
no,
hole,"
he's-
you
no,
proceed to
no.
tell me that you ordered 4 more figures
Yeah.
of Michael Jordan.
Because growing
That's
up,
awesome.
I loved Michael Jordan, dude, and then. So I always wanted to be a basketball player when I was a kid. I always used to tell my mom, "That's what I'm gonna do when I'm older," not knowing that I'm 5'9" and short as shit, and I'll never be a basketball player. But that was my favorite, sport as a kid and everything. And Michael was my favorite player, and so now I went down a rabbit hole. But anyway, it's a really cool figure. It's a really good figure. He comes with 3 sets of Jordans. He's got the ones here. I don't know if I can get them on screen. He's got the ones,
Okay.
and then he's got the. I think these are the 6s. I don't know the exact name of them. I just know they're the 6s. But
So I know this is also getting you into another rabbit hole, but if you ever got into so MAFEX also released or is doing a line for the Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse animated movie with Miles Morales,
yeah,
and I bet you those shoes would go pretty well with that figure.
I know. That's what when I bought it, I was with Zach, and he's like, "Can I have the shoes?" for
He
his
would.
Miles figure. I was like, hell no, you can't have these shoes, man. That's a good pull, dude.
Yeah, that's
the
a
one
good
you
one.
own?
Yes.
Sick.
Love.
Tyranitar, I think is how you say his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always
And then,
loved Tyranitar.
Had this rare.
Um,
Nothing crazy though, I don't think.
Blip bug. There's so many Pokemon that I don't even know what they are anymore.
It's crazy now, man. You know, Eddie, my cousin, he's a big fan of just basketball in general, but
look at how accurate they made that thing, dude.
That is pretty
It's
sick.
cool.
Is it so is it magnetized with his hand?
This one doesn't have a peg, but the one that I have in his hand right now has a hole in it, and his hand has a peg, and you put it in that way.
Gotcha.
They just give you two, one with a hole for the peg and one without.
So this would probably be funny, but if I know for sure MAFEX could pull this off, but it'd probably be tough to do the pose. But the finals last second shot against the Jazz, that would be sick to have that pose where he's like up there with the jump shot, like it was with his feet spread out and stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. Damn, now you got me wanting one. Anyways.
I hope one figure that I hope MAFEX does, like, since they're gonna make money on this anyway, because they could use the same sculpt and just change the jerseys. I hope they make a Space Jam one and give him the Space
like
Jam jersey.
Yeah.
Ball toy.
Okay. Yeah, I bet the Space Jam that probably, I'm guessing that's Warner Bros. They'd have to get licensing from. That'd probably be tougher, but yeah, that'd be cool if they could.
Or a third party jersey, maybe then. I'll take that.
Yeah.
There you go. We should probably move into news. We actually have somewhat of a loaded show sheet. Actually, it's kind of top heavy with Hasbro, so we'll start off pretty light here. Kind of into, I almost forgot again to show my screen, but we got the Superman, the Mechanical Monsters 1941 box set from Mezco. This is $90 due Q3 of 2021. So this is their 5 points line. So they're 3 3/4 inch scale figures, 5-point articulation. That's what 5 points means. It comes with like diorama pieces. It comes with like, I think three figures: a giant fire shooting robot, a quick change phone booth, and Clark Kent, and then obviously Superman. So yeah, comes pretty loaded, pretty cool. Again, I've said it before, but their 5 points line is pretty on point. The paint, they do really well with the paint. And here, yeah, that's really cool in my opinion. The quick phone booth change, the classic.
Yeah, that's cool. I could appreciate
awesome.
that. Not being a huge DC fan, I could appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a very cool idea. They're getting pretty creative with their 5 points line. Gotta love it. I've said before that I like small companies that branch out and do a lot of different things with their licenses and different licenses. And then this was the touchy point that I talked about on earlier in the show. This is the Hazard Squad Gold Commander Gomez Valley of the Mosquatch, which is $95 due April to May this year, so probably should be shipping out soon. Sold out very quick. I know, again, a lot of people had issues. Like, there's rage posts going all over in the groups about this guy. A lot of people didn't get him. He looks like kind of a repaint of the Hazard Squad one. I'm not super bummed I missed out, or I'm not super mad I missed out, but I am a little bummed. Just the completionist in me, that's all it would have been. With that said, the completionist in me isn't gonna pay $250 for a $95 figure probably. And then just today, I had to sneak this into the show sheet. They just announced on their 5 points line as well a Godzilla line. From Godzilla Destroy All Monsters from 1968, there's 2 different box sets that they're doing. November 2021 to January 2022 releases. They're each $85 and they each come with 4 different figures. So box set 1 comes with Godzilla, Rodon, Mothra, and Anguirus. He's like the spiky back dude. And then the next box set comes with Gorosaurus, King Ghidorah, Baragon, and Manila. Manila, I think, is his son.
Yeah.
So, pretty cool. The paint looks pretty well done. I know they have, like, some of them have in it, like, exchangeable, or a couple different heads that they come with. So, yeah, and I think it's for $85 for 4 figures. That's not the worst deal in the world. And they are, even though they're the 5 points line, I don't believe these are the scale of 3 3/4 inch. Most of their 5 points line is. These guys, I believe, they're considered the 5 points Excel line. So I thought they said like 5 inches tall. I could be wrong with that. I can't find it on their website. I just panicked right here and couldn't find it. But
I
yeah,
think it's
they're
funny
bigger.
how Ghidorah has 3 heads, so it counts as 5 points, and he has no like arms and stuff. So
Yeah.
they snuck
Yeah,
the
and
5 points in there.
Well, the wings too. I suppose they probably move a little bit.
Oh, okay. These are cool, man. Ever since Godzilla versus Kong dropped, I'm like all Godzilla hyped now, and I want even like the old Godzilla stuff, the look of it and stuff.
I love it. I love that people are on the Godzilla hype train right now. I just want SH Figure Arts to re-release Shin Godzilla, or Monster Arts, I mean. But yeah, I don't think I'll get these. I'll probably try and stick with one line with SH Monster Arts for Godzilla, but these do look pretty cool. And
Yeah.
you know, for 8 figures, relatively inexpensive.
Well, maybe if you cared, like, and you only got the Monster Arts line, you get at least the baby Godzilla, because they probably will never do that in Monster Arts. It probably scales well with the other ones. That would be cool.
That's a good point, and it's not like you need to set that baby Godzilla up with anything super dynamic or anything like that. Like this one comes with the effect where he's trying to breathe out the blast.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's cool.
Looks pretty cool. Are you gonna get these? You think, Eddie?
I don't know. I wouldn't want like all the monsters. I would only want Godzilla and maybe Rodan, but or Mothra, like in that form. That would be cool, because that NECA didn't do that one, right? They did the when she turns into the moth. So that would be cool to have it in that form, but I probably won't. I just think they're cool.
Yeah. No, yeah, same here. I like that they're getting into it, and the hype is with the kaijus or Godzilla figures are pretty big right now. So, also real quick with Mezco, Dr. Fate is shipping out. I don't have any pictures, but I know a lot of people are talking about
cool
that.
one.
A lot of people want that figure. If anyone doesn't know who Dr. Fate is, it's pretty much Doctor Strange is actually the knockoff of Dr. Fate, I believe. I think Dr. Fate actually existed before Doctor Strange, but they're very close. It's the DC version. Moving on to McFarlane. Not a ton of news there for once, which means we'll get pelted with it next week or next show. McFarlane released a unmasked 7-inch action figure for Shriek. So obviously it's the same figure that they released already, just no mask, and I believe this one, he's from Batman Beyond, by the way, due August 1st for $20.
I think I said this when we talked about it last time, but this reminds me of Ben 10.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I can see that for sure. I watched a little bit of Batman Beyond back in the day, and I just do not remember this guy at all.
No. Yeah, I don't either.
And and Sean, you talk about like what got you into figures. Batman, what got me into him was the animated series, and you could argue the animated series had a bigger impact on Batman than a lot of the comics in the 90s, because there's legit been characters created out of the anime. Like Harley Quinn is from the animated series.
She has two different appearances because of it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, pretty cool. moving on to, again, yeah, there's like nothing for McFarlane from what I was able to find, any really big updates. Super 7, I just thought this was pretty cool. They came out with their Wave 1 for Reaction Star Trek The Next Generation figures. These are 3 3/4 inch scale, I mean. The first wave is including Borg, Captain Picard, Data, Guinan. I don't know if I'm destroying that. Wesley Crusher and Worf. But I just thought, they do a pretty good job with these as well. Super 7 actually really does. They're pretty fun with their packaging too. I know like their pictures never do them justice, but if you ever see them in store, they'll kind of surprise you.
Is that Whoopi Goldberg?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I never knew she was on Star Trek. What the heck?
I don't know how long she was, but I know that I've seen her on it. My dad and my uncle used to watch it growing up.
Oh, okay.
And I remember seeing her on there. So like when I saw her in Hollywood Squares, I was like, oh, shit, she's from Star Trek. That's like how I knew her.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I would have never thought that's how someone knows Whoopi Goldberg from Star Trek.
I don't think she was on it the whole time because I think it's a pretty long series, right? The Next Generation is.
Yeah, and I never really got crazy into it, but I know it just kind of went off in a bunch of different directions as well.
Are you guys big Star Trek fans?
Not
really.
huge. I did like the new movies, the newer ones. Really?
Big running joke. Another movie I haven't seen, but yeah,
So,
I haven't seen it.
I would say like go through the first I think there's 6. There's a classic 6. Not with the Next Generation, but with the old, like Captain, like with Spock and stuff like that. Definitely start with those. I would say 1 through 6, and then the remakes apparently done by J.J. Abrams. He kind of remakes them in a different way, but they're still pretty cool. They're a lot of fun in my opinion.
I always, because I always grew up thinking like, you can't like Star Trek if you're a Star Wars fan. So I was like, my mom was a Star Wars fan.
I made a choice.
I was a Star Wars guy.
Yeah. They're.
I kind of made a choice when I was young. I was like, am I gonna watch Star Wars or am I gonna watch Star Trek? And we had the VHS tapes at home, and we'd pop in A New Hope and follow it up with the other two and stuff. And
that's why. Have you guys seen Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
That's the one thing. Like I watched that show like last year. That's the first time I've seen it. And we watched all the seasons, me and Adriana. But the one thing I couldn't understand is how they like both. They're Star Trek fans and Star Wars fans, and I was like, I don't think that you're allowed to do that, man. I think
My
that's
dad
against
likes
the rules.
Super nerds.
My dad actually liked both. He's the one who got me into Star Wars, and he grew up watching Star Trek. But Star Trek just never caught on with me. I don't think it really appeases smaller kids as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
They're
see
definitely
that.
totally different. They're just very similar in that they're both sci-fi and futuristic. But yeah, it's interesting. Once you kind of get the gist of what Star Trek's about, I like it. I love that Danny Lee knew that Whoopi Goldberg was the bartender.
She's the bartender. I just saw that.
Good call
Well,
there.
and also like
Because Danny
I never
Lee's
watched-
old, dude. He watched them when they came out. I'm just playing Danny.
We love you, Danny. Well, that's what Danny gets for trying to sell figures on our show last episode. All right, so they also are. So if you guys don't know, they also dive into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a little bit. This is their Ultimates line, so 7-inch scale. This is a glow in the dark mutagen man. Yeah. This is $55, January 2022, and this is an entertainment exclusive. I don't know, Sean, did you include... Yeah, there's no pictures of it not lit up. You pretty much need... Oh, yeah, just right here, I guess.
yeah.
It doesn't look all that great when he's all lit up, but
No.
$55, that's...
But you
quite a bit.
gotta wonder too, like a lot of times like the glowing effects just don't really
Aren't
do
that
it
good?
justice. So like
and wear out over time though.
Exactly. You know.
Yeah.
So like in that picture, in that go to the other picture with the fully glow in the dark.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, like when, like I want to know, like if it does it, that's great, but when is it gonna look like that? Because
Probably
I
have
can
to get
guarantee you,
a-
in a dark room, I don't really see it going that
No,
dark.
you're gonna have to get one of those UV flashlights
Exactly.
that like charges it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the big thing I remember, so of course I was one of those kids that had like the stars and planets and shit on my ceiling.
Oh yeah,
The glow in
me
the dark
too.
things. They wear out, right? Like over time they just stop glowing. So
Yeah.
that's why glow in the dark shit is I've never really liked it just because of that reason. But yeah, $56 January next year. So Bandai SH Figure Arts was pretty quiet as well, but they did announce, I believe this is a P Bandai exclusive, but you'll probably be able to find it elsewhere eventually for a little bit more. But Bandai United States, you can find them as well. So this is Tien Shinhan, and I don't know how to pronounce this. Chiatsu. That's me trying. But it's a 2-pack, $80, October 21. None of us are DBZ guys, right?
I watched Dragon Ball Z growing up as a kid, and I haven't seen Super, but I am into DBZ.
So
I don't know if I'll get this or not though,
So
because I had a bunch of SHF DBZ figures when I started collecting SHF, and I kind of sold them all because I was like getting into different stuff, and that's kind of how I am. I'll collect something for a while and then sell it and then get into something else. But now that I got this friggin' MAFEX Jordan, I wanted to get the Bardock SHF figure, and now it's like making me think, well, maybe I'll just get the Dragon Ball characters, and he's like one of the original Dragon Ball Z characters and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, good call, Ekwan. Even though you may find them elsewhere, the cheapest that you'll find P Bandai exclusives is going to always be P Bandai. The only time it won't be is if they're just P Bandai like Japan exclusives, and then you might want to look elsewhere or be patient because eventually sometimes Bluefin will get them as well. But yeah, so October 2021, $80 for 2 figures isn't terrible. Like we've seen some of their 2-packs go well into the hundreds. So yeah, apparently this was a remake. So an actual like fully articulated figure. The other one might have been, what's their SH Figure Art Zero line, I think is the unarticulated one. But anyways, moving on to NECA. NECA was pretty quiet as well. Not a whole lot to get there, but they announced, the biggest thing there with NECA is they announced an event for their TMNT line. And this is kind of exactly what we were talking about at the beginning of the show, because this big event is centered around pre-order windows for hard to come by figures, especially in their TMNT line. Very cool in my opinion. So their post said 3 weeks of TMNT pre-orders each Friday of the next few weeks. We will launch a new pre-order for a pre-order event for some great Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon action figures on the NECAstore.com. Each pre-order run will run for 10 days and feature some awesome surprises as well. And I clicked on it, and there's separate SKUs, so separate items for international shipping and one for US. So this one is open from 4/9 to 4/18. It's the Ultimate Pizza Monster. They also, so there's 3 at a time, or 3 right off the bat. Wow, that is big. I did not realize. Looks like an alien kind of.
yeah, it does.
But they also came out with a 2-pack for Triceraton Infantryman and Roadkill Rodney 3-pack.
Mm-hmm.
And then a Rat King and Vernon 2-pack as well. So these are up for pre-order right now. The day that we're recording on April 15th. So you got about 3 days to finish up your pre-orders if you'd like. Pretty cool. I believe these are all, except for I think the only new one is the Ultimate Pizza Monster. The other ones are re-releases. So it's just their way of making sure their fans get them. And that's also where I got kind of my topic from about fans, just, collectors getting what they want, because that was a big complaint with this line. Is there's so many people that are just like, man, I'm just a fan of TMNT. I just want these figures. I don't care about scalpers. I don't care about anything. I just want the figure. That's all I want. Why can't I just get it when it comes out? Especially if I'm on top of my game and ready to go. So,
and they did such a good job with it, though. Like I still like just like the paint and everything that they've done to it. It looks like it's popping out of a cartoon. You know, it's not like super glossy like a lot of these figures come out to be, or super matted. Like they really did a good job at making these figures look like they came out of the show, and that's something I could really appreciate from it. And I was thinking the same thing with like some of the new Transformers stuff that's been coming out, even statue wise. Like they look like they're from the animated from the animated show.
Yeah, with these guys, with NECA, it's definitely about the paint apps, because they'll come out with regular versions and it'll look pretty good. But yeah, it's the hardline painting that goes a long ways. Mm-hmm. But we are at the time of the show. Can you guys see me or hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just lost a monitor midway through this, so give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Hold on. I don't know what to do. Okay, we're back. It just randomly popped back. Oh my god, that freaked me out, because everything was on the monitor that just randomly shut off on me, so it scared the shit out of me.
I could have just played the clip if it was gone. So.
Okay. Alright, we're good.
It's Watto Scrapyard, Annie! We want to thank our friends over at Watto Scrapyard for sponsoring tonight's episode.
You can find them on Instagram at Watto Scrapyard. They're also on Facebook and eBay as well.
Yeah, man. They make 3D printed parts for hard-to-come-by Kenner and Hasbro vehicles, which is a huge help when you're looking for those lost pieces. They also make printed head sculpts of literally anybody you could think of.
Literally anyone. They've made a head sculpt of me. They've made head sculpts of PewDiePie for you. They've made all kinds of Jedi, all kinds of characters from the Star Wars universe. They are absolutely amazing. They can get any sculpt you want designed and printed for a reasonable fee today.
Hell yes. I love that. Also, I always forget to make fun of Zach, but on their 1/6 corner read, he says the word excellently. That is definitely not a word, right? Am I crazy on that? I haven't looked it up, but I'm pretty sure it's not a word. Okay. So, Sean, it's all you, baby.
So the only thing I got, because it just blew my mind, is that this 8.5 CGC graded Action Comics #1 went for $3.25 million. And I'm just like books don't do that anymore. It's of course it's this older stuff, and it's Superman, of course, like the guy who kind of basically started it all for the superhero game. And it just got me thinking. I'm like, man, if my Thanos #1 ever reached this, do I keep it or do I sell it? You know what I mean? Now, this
you
book,
sell it. No.
You sell it, and you sell it, and
you got $1 million,
and then you give your buddy Dylan at least like 25,000 of it, because that's pocket change you at that point.
Yeah, right. No, but like what I was gonna say though is like, what would you guys do with your collectible if your favorite collectible went that high, right? And you're going to go sell it. What are you doing with it? Are you like disappearing? Are you out of the toy game? Are you out of the statue game, comics, whatever? Like, what are you doing? Buying a house just to build the collection more? I mean, so Dylan, what do you think?
I think we both just answered your question. I would sell that. I couldn't sell that quick enough, to be honest. Number one, the biggest reason is because it bothers me when I have something super expensive, super high value like that, and it's worth a ton of money, to the point to where I'm so worried about breaking it or messing it up or devaluing it that I don't have fun with it. So, for example, Mezco Punisher, the OG version, or the comic book version, sorry. So like white boots and stuff. I had a figure. So he was limited to 400 figures. I had one of him. And I was like, I don't even know if I like having this figure because I don't want to bust him out of the box. I don't want to like mess something up. I don't want to like untuck a bootleg. I don't want to mess this thing up trying to unbox this $400 to $500 plus, like I've seen them go all the way up to $700-800 figure. So essentially I ended up finding a really good deal on a second one, and I got that, and that made me feel better about it. But that to me is the biggest reason why I would want to sell it, where I'd be like, holy shit, like I value this collectible a lot, but I'm not that important. My value for something is not $303.25 million worth of my excitement. Like I don't value myself that much, so give me that moolah, baby. And yeah, and like you said, Sean, I will buy another house or like build a building just for my collection at that point.
So the only way I would keep it is if it was given to me by like my father. Like it was the first comic my father bought me, and he like passed away, and he was super into it, or some like it would have to have like that kind of significance behind it for me to keep something worth that much. You know?
Even then, I think it sounds shitty, but even then, I think I would sell it and then just buy a ton of like Action Comics themed stuff to like represent it and like show my value or like my appreciation for it and everything like that, and build out like a fuller, more complete collection besides that one, I guess, because I'm assuming you would never get that one back for sure, right? Like you would never be
Right.
able to...
This is a
how
once
hard
in a
is
lifetime.
it to find something this old in 8.5 anyway? That's
So-
insane.
So this book actually beat the record of a I think it was a 9.0 that went for, I can't remember if it was $1 million or $2 million, but it beat it. So then I'm thinking like that 9.0.
If Jesus Christ himself gave me that, I'd still sell it.
Jesus, dude. Jesus.
But like it makes me think though, some of like for me, my most expensive book is maybe $500, right? Like that's $500 I have sitting on that, but I don't want to get rid of it, you know? And that's a lot of money, you know? It's not Action Comics number 1 8.5, you know? But
Yeah.
okay, so I text at the shop. There's one of our subscribers. He is a huge DC fan, like diehard, right? Like he'll get a Marvel book because it's a key and it's an important character, but he is a hardcore. He's a hardcore DC collector. And I just asked him, I go, if you had an 8.5 Action Comics number 1, would you sell it for $3.25 million? And he goes, no doubt about it. I just couldn't sell it. I would never let that go.
What?
He's
Okay,
crazy.
that
He's obviously insane.
Yeah, with people like that, check him into the insane asylum, or probably tomorrow, Sean. I don't know if I would trust him. No, seriously, like you would have to implant the scenario with him. Say I'm about to. Someone walks up to you and they have a check for $3.25 million right there. And they're like, you give me that, this is yours. Think about what you can do with $3.25 million.
Absolutely.
Invest it, grow it, and you'll be able to buy this back in 5 years anyways. Like, realistically, but...
Well, and you know, even my wife, she's like, how much money do you have in that? How much did it grow? And and again, this is a lot lower level, but for us, that's a ton of money. That's not even a ton of money, man. That's like the whole thing, and even something as like my Thanos book, right? That's the book I was referring to. It's
Wait,
like
which one?
The first Thanos, Iron Man 55.
Oh,
Mine is roughly a $500 book, and like I can't get rid of it, But I'll tell you right now, $500 would go a hell of a long way for me getting some new appliances that I'm about to put in my new house.
Yeah, so if someone came up to you and said, Sean, I'll take that Thanos book for, let's say, $2,500, would you do it?
immediately.
I
He's
feel
trying
like
to buy
my
a house.
pause is answering the question.
So, yeah, so then 3.25 million you'd for sure take for that, right?
For me, definitely.
Yeah.
For me, definitely. I mean, like you said, you can probably find a 0.5 and spend, I don't know, I'm just throwing a number out there, but maybe like 20 grand, and it'd be throwing a $20 bill on the table, and then, like you said, deck out the room in Action Comics and, make it look whatever you wanted, right? But, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think that would do it for me. Because even like a 9.8, I think, goes probably somewhere around there. So
What
to
was
have
yours
a book,
graded at again?
mine is graded at a 5.5.
Okay.
It's at a 5.5. It's a mid grade, and like the goal would be to have something that old preserved at a 9.8. Like what it like. I mean,
GC, Danny's
Just
comment.
read.
I will buy you a Whirlpool trash compactor for your first Thanos, Sean. Okay, so totally off topic, but I found out when Amanda and I went in on a house, we picked out our appliances. We pretty much went pretty plain or base for most of the appliances, except I told her, I'm like, you make about 7 dishes per meal you eat. The dishwasher is going to be very important, and I would like to upgrade that. And she was in on that. We ended up going with like a super high-end dishwasher, and that is my pride and joy. When people come over, I show them my dishwasher. That thing is-
Hashtag adulting.
it is wet.
So, and I'm saying the same thing because I'm in the process of what little Star Wars Black Series I do have. I'm in the process of selling that because I was like, like we're going all in on this house. Any other money that we could save, and like we want to buy a brand new refrigerator, and we're looking to spend somewhere around like 1,000 or so, maybe 2,000 max, on a nice refrigerator and stuff. And I was like, well, I'll sell my Black Series stuff. It's hot, and that's a couple $100. So that's $200, $300
Couple
closer.
$100. What Black Series are you selling?
Well, I mean, and it's just kind of what I've seen over like eBay and stuff so far. So like I'll probably adjust prices eventually, but it's like Cara Dune, right? The original one, right? So there's the bulk of it, right? Because that thing right there. And then I have a Beskar Mando, I have Ahsoka no box, IG-11, which she's actually like $25 right now. What else? Oh, Sabine, right? And Thrawn, and there's one other.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it is right now.
Seriously, equal.
What? You call them dish racks too?
Yeah.
You guys
No,
call
they're
them
not.
We
dish
use it as a dish rack.
We don't call them dish racks. He's saying that we don't actually use the dishwasher. We just store our dishes in there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you don't like wash dishes in the dishwasher?
Typically, no.
Never.
Hand washed. Put it in the
I'm arrest-
dishwasher. Let it sit there, drip dry.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
calling the police on all of you guys. Why?
I think because, like, you could never get it as clean as if
Yeah.
you washed it yourself.
That's
That's
why
why my mom always...
But that's how we grew up.
because that's because you don't have a fucking dishwasher
Well, that
like
is-
mine.
that's true, too,
A
dude.
$3.25 million dishwasher.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me tell you what a good dishwasher does. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to get into that.
Okay,
I'm the same
that's-
way as you, though, Dylan. The last smoker that I bought that was, like, expensive as shit, too, I that's my pride and joy, too. That's what I'm showing
There you
people
go.
when they come over.
my best buy last year over any collectible was my Cuisinarts flat top. It's like it's a 360 flat top, and that was the best thing I bought all year.
Flat top what? What's
Grill.
What's a Cuisin? Oh.
Yeah.
There's a guy I
Gotcha.
follow
Like a-
on
like a
YouTube,
griddle, right?
Sam the cooking guy.
Yep.
He has like the top of the line one, and I was like, dang, I don't want to spend $3,000 on a flat top. And I was able to find one that Cuisinarts does for like $250, I think.
Uh-huh.
Best thing I bought all year last year.
Yeah.
Yep. Griddles, pellet smokers, those are all in my future plans. I just need a deck first.
So let me tell you what this guy said. I asked him why. I asked him why. He goes, at this point, it's not just a comic; it's a piece of history. Something so rare, only a few people own it. I just couldn't part with it. And when you're talking about something like Action Comics, he's absolutely right. How many Action Comics are still out there? How many people even remember that they still have it? You know, there's been many times where it's like they forget what they have and they come bring it to us at the shop and we're like, well, let's talk about this, you know? And I mean, that is literally a piece of history. It's in the Smithsonian. You know, it's like it's in a museum. It sits there in a museum.
I was just gonna play the Indiana Jones clip that set where he just yells at him, "It belongs in a museum." Eddie, have you seen Indiana Jones yet?
No. I haven't.
Unbelievable.
No.
You know the order at least to watch them in, right?
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. I hate you so much. Oh my god.
I mean, what? That's
On to next.
obviously the way they came out.
On to the next.
I was gonna start with the Shia LaBeouf one, dude.
Where is that remove? He is out of here. Oh my god. Okay, we should move on to the Hasbro Fan Fest,
Dude.
baby.
These figures, amazing.
So
Amazing.
they released a wave. There's a lot of news coming from Hasbro Fan Fest. They did a lot in Star Wars, Power Rangers. Sean, I can't believe you didn't have me add Power Rangers to the list. I completely
Man.
spaced it out.
No, dude. We've been so busy. Like, I thought I was busy with 2 kids. I'm busy with 2 kids, building a house, having the builders call us and be like, hey, we need you for a meeting at 2:00 on a Wednesday when we're all at work. And, man, this week has been insane.
But Sean, Power Rangers.
Yeah, I know.
What
Anyways.
What helped is that by the time those particular Rangers were on TV and doing their thing, I wasn't watching.
Oh, okay.
I think,
so. You
and
didn't
I can't
care as much.
and I think I need to do the research on it because I really like those Psycho Rangers that they came out with. They came out the Psycho Rangers, right? And I want those, but if I'm gonna get those, I need to get the Rangers that go with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that's the In Space one. I don't know because I never watched that series. But that made it a lot easier for me to be like, well, I don't have any like nostalgia attachment to it.
Yeah. Okay, well then that makes me feel a little better because I felt pretty shitty for not adding them on, and it wasn't purpose. It was just like going
I'm
through
glad
the
you
list
care
and then
so
I
much.
I spaced it out. So for Black Series, they actually didn't have a ton of releases for Black Series. Their 6-inch line. So these ones are all $22.99 most of the time. I think Big Bad has them for more. Even October 1st release. So they have Tech from the Bad Batch, Zero, which is the droid there, also known as Q9-0. Aurora Singh, so she's like an assassin. She started off, obviously, I think it was in Clone Wars
Yeah.
with Boba Fett's group. And then General Lando Calrissian. I know a lot of people are waiting on Lando. So there we go. That was this wave. And I don't think Tech from the Bad Batch, this does not finish off the Bad Batch, right? There's still more Bad Batch guys
They've
like
done
Warner.
Hunter. They've announced. No, they still need to do the robot. Who's that? That's Echo.
Oh, yeah.
They still need to do him.
But of the actual Bad Batch, are they done? Like the
Echo is the
original
Bad
guys?
Batch.
Well, now he is, but I'm saying the original.
Okay, well
Bad
then
Batch.
the original 4, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's Hunter, Tech, the big guy, Wrecker, and who's the last guy? Hunter, Tech, Wrecker.
The shooting or the assassin guy, the sniper, right? What's his name? I can't remember.
me neither.
Forgot about that Man of Steel. I forgot Aurora Singh was in the Phantom Menace. It was on Tatooine with the races, right? That's when we see her for the first time, I think. But I do remember seeing her now that you say that. Good call. Also, the last one that they showed, or that is up for pre-order, is Casca Reeves from The Mandalorian, and she has the removable helmet
Crosshair.
with a head sculpt. Crosshair. There you go. I knew it was the sniper guy.
Yeah.
And she's got like a removable jetpack. So this actually looks pretty good in my opinion. I think like her head sculpt is actually pretty good for Black Series.
You think so?
And this is
I
what's making
do.
it hard for me to sell mine.
Yeah, so Black Series for me is I'm in a tough moment right now. So I have all the carbonized series except for the Walmart one, which is probably going to be the easiest one to get for price wise. It's like the Jump Trooper or something like that. But I have the entire carbonized line. I have the entire credit line.
Wow.
And then a few and then a bunch of troopers, and I want to get out of it because of storage and numbers and things like that, and I just can't do it. I'm gonna have to sell them as one big chunk. If someone in the Patreon chat wants them, I'll give you guys a deal for them, but only in groups. I don't want to sell them individually. The carbonized one, that's the one that I have a tough time getting away from because I look at them every time and I'm like, I don't want to sell these. Every time where I'm like about to break them out and take pictures to sell them, I'm like, yeah, I like them too much. So yeah, it's tough to get out of the Black Series game when you know that like you're probably not going to get especially when you know you're not going to get a Hot Toys version of it. And as of right now, there's no like Mezco out there that's gonna fill the void of at least like a high-end version of it, you know. That's the thing with GI Joes is I'll happily sell my Hasbro GI Joes now because Mezco is diving into that line. So yeah, that's the tough part about it. I feel you there, Sean. Also in the TVC, the vintage collection line, these range from about $13.99 to $14.99, due from around August to September 1st releases, kind of in that range. We got Hoth Luke Skywalker, and that's with a photoreal face. Endor Han Solo trench coat from Endor. I said that already. Shut up. Also photoreal. Admiral Akbar, Royal Guard. And then I think the Royal Guard is also redone. I don't know a ton about that. I'm sure Mario could have probably helped us. We should have had Mario on for this show. I should have definitely bugged him about getting on, because there's a lot of TVC news from this. They also released the Battle Droid from Battlefront 2. I think they call it an actual like Super Battle Droid, even though it's not like the big ones.
Yeah.
Shadow Stormtrooper from The Force Unleashed, Scout Trooper from Jedi Fallen Order, and then the Electro Staff Purge Trooper from the Jedi Fallen Order, and that one is an Entertainment Earth exclusive. But I believe you can find him on Big Bad Toy Store right now, just with an upcharge like $17 or something like that. These look pretty good. I have that Stormtrooper from The Force Unleashed, I believe, in the Black Series version, and I gotta say, if I could do it over again, I would probably collect the Force Unleashed over Black Series because they're smaller. And, well, when you see pictures of them like this, if I wouldn't have told you, you would have believed that these would be Black Series. Would you not?
Yeah. Yeah, I would have.
You know, like, they do a really good job on it. I will say I should put that up for nomination for figure line of the year, I think, that we have done in the past in the group. I don't know if that's an option this year, but I would put the vintage collection up there. That doesn't get the love it deserves. Also, this was a big one too. There's an X-Wing and Rogue One Blue Leader, Anak Merrick. This is a Target exclusive. I don't think actually this is up for pre-order yet, but this is from the last scene. I know they say Rogue One, but I know a lot of people say Rogue Merrick is from the last scene of The Rise of Skywalker, where all the ships come in. But yeah, this one has not gone up yet. As of today, anyways. And then into Marvel Legends. Sean, this might be your wheelhouse, but Marvel Legends Comics Wave 1 with a bunch of Iron Man figures was released. These are up for pre-order now, about $22.99. In the range, I believe, is the same August to September area of this year. But this they create a Build-A-Figure for Ursa Major, which is like a big bear figure. But there's Modular Iron Man, Darkstar, Vault Guardsman, Stealth Iron Man, Hologram Iron Man, Ironheart, and Ultron. I know Zach actually had me order him, so Hasbro Pulse members have like earlier entrance to get some of these figures to make sure that you have no problems. He wanted me to get the Ironheart. Are you guys a big fan of any of these ones?
I will probably get the entire wave.
Glad to see you're backing up your word of being an Iron Man fan.
I mean, I had the Toy Biz stealth suit one, and I was like, man, if Hasbro just did a better version of it, like, I'd be all over it. And each one of these are just like, it screams the comics for me, you know. Even Ironheart, you know. Ultron, arguably like one of my favorite villains. Not too crazy about the Build-A-Figure, but he does have a lot of relevance to Iron Man later on, where he goes to Russia a few times and runs into this guy and his team. I can't remember what they're called right now, but the hologram classic, you know, the red and gold. I think I haven't taken a good look at it, but it just kind of reminds me of the retro one that they did a while back. Guardsman, early Iron Man villain, you know, Ultron too. I mean,
yeah, that Ultron I've seen before. Like, I think someone made a 6-scale version of that classic looking Ultron. Who was that again?
I don't know.
Star Ace or 3-0, I think, made it. But anyways, yeah, I don't mind that look of Ultron, to be honest. Ekwan said, by the way, when they announced Ursa Major comic book, Red Guardian shot up in price because no one thought they would complete the team. I don't know what that means. Sean, can you
The Red Guardian
elaborate?
was like, he's basically the Captain America of
Russia,
the,
right?
Yeah, the team.
Yeah,
their
and
team.
he... Of whose team?
The Russian team. So with
Is-
like with,
so is
with the
Ursa
bear
Major-
and all of them.
Oh, Ursa Major is on that team?
Yes.
Oh, I thought Ursa
And
Major was
where
like a
was it?
villain.
The most recent Avengers run, they have a run-in with the entire group, but it's like Black Panther's trying to bring all of these superpower groups together kind of thing. And more so like we need to be protecting the Earth. Yeah, Winter Guard. And stuff. And I believe... Who is it? I think it's Ursa Major goes... And he's just there at the table and he's just eating all the food. You know, Black Panther has this big spread with... He's got a Sunfire there from like... With like the Big Hero 6 people and stuff like that. And, you know, it's just all the different teams from around the world. And you know, he's trying to like get them together because of whatever threat's fixing to come or whatever. But I even like this Ultron for like his sentry, like his little sentry guys, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can get like 4 or 5 of those, and then the exclusive Ultron that came out from Hasbro a while back when they were doing it through the comic books. And then you have a classic Age of Ultron comic book group, you know? Riri Williams, she's not as hot as like Miles Morales, but she's getting up there. Her book
I
at a
beg to
9.8.
differ. I'm just kidding. Riri Williams is Ironheart for our listeners.
Yes, and a 9.8 first appearance of Riri. It's like I think it's up in like the 4 or 5s now, just because they've announced an actress for her. And
What do you mean? That's in the 4 and 5s.
$400 or $500 range, I think, at a 9.8.
Wow.
Yeah. Even her
Holy
second printing's up there.
Okay, and you said that went up when they announced the movie.
Yeah, like I think she averaged around originally maybe a $200 book, like pre the announcement. If you had an
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say if you had a 9.8 of it.
I am not a huge fan of the Ursa Major figure, but big bear fan over here. I definitely want to learn more about him / her. That is interesting. So it contained the Winter Guard, Red Guardian, Ursa Darkstar, Crimson Dynamo.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And obviously Red Guardian is in the Black Widow movie.
Yep.
Wonder if we'll see more there from
They
that team.
thought when they first cast, I don't know the actor's name who plays Red Guardian, Hopper.
Yeah.
Fuck is his name? David Harbour. I think that's
Yep.
his name. When they first
Harper,
cast him, they thought he was gonna play this character, Ursa Major. They thought that's who they were casting him as, and then it came out that he was Red Guardian.
I don't think we'll see the last of Red Guard. Like, I think Marvel does a good job at getting rid of some
Harbour, you're
characters, some villains that have some longevity. But I don't know if we'll see the last of him. In the Black Widow movie.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I actually, for what was it? I think for Christmas, for my girlfriend, I got a Black Widow comic because I told her how excited I was about that movie. Actually, I'm not a huge like Black Widow fan, but over time, like throughout the movies, I became one. And no, it's not just because it's Scarlett Johansson,
Yeah,
but
it
that helps for sure. But I've just been a fan of the character and kind of her development over time. And I told her for a while, like obviously that the Endgame version is my favorite version so far. We've gotten of Hot Toys, and I'm going to have that one on my way eventually. I'm kind of waiting to see if it hits another low for a deal. But so she saw that, and then she bought me that comic book, and I have to read up on that. I'll have to tell you which one that is, Sean.
So, did you like the white suit version that they announced? You didn't like it?
I
think
her
that one. I think the
I
Endgame one was good until they announced that one, and I was like,
I
okay,
like her
this one's
head
better.
sculpt. I like her head sculpt. I like her hair in that white one. I do not like the white suit though as much.
Yeah.
The black suit is definitely more classic to me, or more Black Widow-y to me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I've had white figures in the past, and even a tiny bit of sunlight after 5 years, that'll fade a little bit. That's my only complaint with
White
white.
fades?
Oh yeah, it fades yellow.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get what you're saying.
That's the shitty thing.
I wonder
is it
how
actually
that
changes
head
color.
would look on the Endgame one, or like on
That
a
I
black
would probably
suited figure.
Yeah, I would probably do that. I would probably just buy the head sculpt if I could ever find it. I don't know where you could, and if you did, it'd probably be worth a ton. But I would
It's kind of like
consider
what people
that.
were doing for when they came out with the Hawkeye 2-pack for the quantum suits. And a lot of people were switching it out with the in-game head sculpt so they can kind of get that blondish look on the end of her hair.
Yeah, I don't mind that, but yeah, I would like to have a little bit more classic, probably pure red hair. But they also released Avengers Infinity Saga Marvel Legends Thor action figure. This is $24.99, is the cheapest I could find this. So this is the Endgame version. This is Fat Thor, or what do they call him?
Bro
Thor. And it looks like it's got kind of like a bioluminescent blue / clear
You know what I like about this?
hammer. What?
That his body is actually thick, and they just didn't give him a big stomach. Because
Yes.
I think SH Figure Arts did that when the movie first came out. They made him, but like they just gave him a big stomach. They didn't like this one. The legs are thicker, the arms maybe the same or whatever. But this one looks like how he actually looked instead of just having like a beer gut.
Well, and
You know what I
even
mean?
you like you're talking about the legs, you could even tell like he has some kind of like depth to it with the paint apps and stuff. I had both. I sold the original in-game one to a friend of mine, but I have the updated SH with all the effect pieces and stuff, and they're just like straight lines, down the leg, I still like it a lot because of the head sculpts and stuff like that, and it fits well for my my final battle charge that I'm doing with them. But I think it looks nice. I don't know if I'll pick it up because I already have one. So
The packaging is really cool too. The packaging always like gets me, like if I'm trying to like not buy something and then I see this kind of packaging, I'm like, well, now I want it. Damn it.
That's the problem with small stuff, is you find this stuff in stores, and yeah, you look at it, you're like, oh, I'll never buy this, and then you see it in stores and you're like, oh, damn,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. It's like that meme of the guy with his chick, and he looks back, and he's, there's another chick back there. That's what Marvel Legends and fucking shit like that is. I'm with Hot Toys, but I'm always looking back like, look at that. Look at that thick ass Marvel Legends box.
Exactly. So speaking of which, they also announced or teased a Quasar. I don't know. So this is a Marvel or a Walgreens exclusive, not up for pre-order from what I could find yet. I've heard rumors of him joining the Guardians in the next movie. Sean, go on about this guy. Tell us about this guy if you know anything. I'll be right back.
there's a few different. I don't even remember the word, but there's a few different versions of. I
is
call
this
him
guy again?
Quasar.
Oh, Quasar?
I call him Quasar, but the one I'm more familiar with is the female version because she is part of the Guardians team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
What's her name? Same thing, Quasar? Is it the new Guardians? The Donny Cates Guardians?
yes, 'Cause it's
is it the
Phyla-
green
Phyla
dragon
Vel?
chick or? Oh yeah.
Phyla Vel, right?
Yeah.
It's it's Marvel's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she basically just has like cosmic powder.
Yeah.
She has cosmic power, and I mean,
So did
That's
you
about
see? You know that the one that came out with the Captain Marvel wave, the Marvel that came out with the Captain Marvel wave, the one where he's like the space color and he's got the.
right?
So is this guy the same as that guy? Where like, because that guy's power is in his gauntlets, right?
Yeah, and the NECA bands, right, is what they call them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw that on this guy and thought he was the same way, pretty much.
All right. So also, they finally, after God, I don't know, had to have been like 6 months. Hasbro finally released new G.I. Joe figures. Not all of them are classified series. I think they called them like a classified series wave. But there's one. Most of them actually have to do with the movie. So the only one, I think all of these are actually from the movie.
Yeah.
So there's from the Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. There's Akiko, Scarlet, Baroness,
Baroness.
Baron. Shut up. Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Obviously based off of the movie. They're $22.99 and ranging from October to December 1st release this year. I know a lot of people are really hating on the I think both the Baroness you said and Scarlet.
Baroness. The Baroness must be the exclusive.
Baroness. The Baroness.
I said
apparently
Baroness.
Dylan's from Russia too.
I got nothing to say. But a lot of people are saying that they weren't a fan of them two.
I'm not a fan of
looks.
Baroness. I don't like the way she looks.
Scarlet is really close to the one that they already came out with the Unclassified series.
It is. Yeah.
And same with the Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. Those are very close to what they've already released as well. But they look pretty cool, I would say.
The actor that they got playing Snake Eyes, I really like that actor. He was in The Gentleman, came out in 2019. That was like one of my favorite movies from 2019. Henry Golding, I think his name is. He's a good actor, dude. So I'm more excited knowing that it's him. I didn't ever pay attention, I guess, but he was on the live stream, I guess, messing with his own Snake Eyes figure.
Really, I haven't seen that movie yet. You like that movie?
The
a
Gentleman?
lot? Yeah.
Oh, dude, 2019 two favorite movies were Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and The Gentleman. I don't know which one was better. They're both amazing.
I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I did like that quite a bit. I'll have to see that. I think I just looked that up, and I think it's on Hulu's, it said.
It is if you have the Showtime added. Otherwise, you gotta like rent it, or you can get it on Amazon Prime for like $3 for a day or whatever. But
okay,
yeah, it's good. I would definitely recommend checking it out. But that actor who plays Snake Eyes, he's in it, and his character in it is really good. Did you guys watch the Channing Tatum G.I. Joe movies?
I did. Actually, I only saw the first one that they made, and
Yeah.
it was okay, I guess. Like, it was action-y,
Yeah.
but like it was action-y to the point to where like you would still lose interest from time to time. There's action movies like John Wick that hold your attention almost the whole time. And then there's action movies like the old G.I. Joe, or not the old, but the last G.I. Joe movies where you're like, yeah, it's kind of too much. Let's move on.
Yeah, this is what I was getting at, Equan. The Baroness in that movie, the Baroness in that movie, they casted her really well, and she looked really good in that movie. And I don't like just comparing it to that one. I don't like this one, but maybe we'll like it when the movie comes out. I don't know.
Yeah, those glasses look kind of funky, don't they? She's got like weird like glasses that look like
Yeah.
like spy movie glasses from the
Yeah,
90s.
Exactly. Spy Kids glasses.
Yeah, Spy Kids. That's what I was getting at. Spy
Yeah.
Kids glasses. But yeah, it wasn't Snake Eyes white. No, Snake Eyes has always been black, hasn't he? And he's always been.
I think he's talking about the character.
Oh,
Like the character Snake Eyes. He in that movie he's a white guy. I don't know if like that's true to the history of the character or not. But yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. It could be, but I don't know.
interesting. So yeah, so finally some new stuff coming from G.I. Joe. They've slowed down a lot. There also has been a lot of rumors that they're going to re-release a lot of things. They had a lot of issues with COVID. Definitely underestimating how popular G.I. Joe is going to be in one of their streams too. So it looks like they're going to be re-releasing a lot of figures, including exclusives. So sorry, my man Jason, your troopers and stuff like that might not be
man.
as worth as much.
The Cobra Troopers?
moving forward. Yeah, but Jason uses them like he's definitely not getting them just because they're valuable.
So many people hitting me up to look for them when those were like had just released. I found like 5 or 6 of them.
Holy!
And everybody
which
was
ones?
Like the original Cobra Trooper, the first one that
okay.
came out, the one that was the hardest to find.
Yep.
I found like 5 or 6 of them, and everybody kept hitting me up like, "Oh, let me get it." It was so annoying.
I have 1 or 2 of them, and I didn't find them. I had to pay scalper price. It wasn't like $100 yet at that point.
If I would have
But I
known
got-
you at the time, Dylan, I would have given
I
you all
got
of them,
them
dude.
pretty early. Luckily Amanda, when she was out kind of doing some shipped orders, when she was doing that back in those months, she was always in Target, and she managed to find a couple of the Viper Troopers, and I really like those ones actually.
Man, those are cool.
So they also announced part of their new Fortnite Victory Royale series. This is a 6-inch line as well. They finally announced the first wave for them. I don't have anything for pre-order links or anything like that. I don't think they're up yet. But it's going to be Ripley Clear, Midas Rex, Chaos Agent, Lynx, Meowskulls, Shadow,
Meowskulls.
Sky and Ollie, and Fortnite Shark. Thank God, just got Fortnite Shark out of there. It's like the only one I can pronounce or know what the hell I'm looking at. The rest of them, they look loaded, to be honest, and they don't look terrible. I'm just not a huge Fortnite guy. I have no idea what I'm looking at or seeing. And I'm guessing this series is going to be pretty big.
Yeah, these figures are so cool. Like if you're just want some random characters on your shelf, like the Meowskulls one. I just noticed that he comes with a bench press and a dumbbell. I want it just for that. Like I'm gonna have him on the desk benching, or the shark is really cool. The shark is really cool.
The shark actually has my attention. That's the only one that really did.
Like, I heard this on Foosh. They did their podcast. They said the shark could go really well with like a Deadpool figure because he comes with skis and stuff. So I could see you doing like some cool ACBA stuff for with the shark. And then I heard that I don't play Fortnite that much anymore. My little brother loves it, but I heard the dude in the suit with the sword, the mech suit or whatever with the cape. I heard that's a DC character in disguise in the game. So I don't know. Basing off his head, it might be Superman because the head kind of looks like Superman to me.
I was thinking Zod.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Good call.
You're good call, Sean. Good call.
I think that one is Midas Rex, but I don't know. I got this picture from Toy Arc so gotta credit them with that because I think a bunch of these were screen grabs. But yeah, the shark I actually wouldn't mind checking out either. I'm a huge shark fan. If anyone if anyone listens to the show, I'm a huge Jaws and Shark fan overall, especially if the mouth opens and closes. Okay, everyone smirks at me when I say that. No, I'm not. Just kidding. Beast Kingdom came out with a Dark Knight Returns Batman, $87.99. Looks like December 2021 release. So the Dark Knight Returns Batman. So this is the gray and black one. I know he has like kind of two or technically three different looks throughout that series, if you include the armored version. This one looks like he looks pretty good, but they're Dynamic Action Heroes line, or Action Heroes line as I like to call it. It's 1/9 scale, so it really doesn't go with anything. I won't get this guy, but for 1/9 scale, that's not terrible. For the price, he's right around or cheaper than Mezco pricing, which is 1/12 scale, and he looks pretty good. He comes with a couple different, they call it interchangeable. He's got 2 different head sculpts and then 3 face sculpts. So there's going to be a lot of different things that you can do there. My only knock on it is the proportions of the Dark Knight Returns body, or the character of it isn't bulky enough. Like, he's a big guy in that series, because he's pretty old and just muscular at that point. But that'd be my only knock on this one. Jason, yeah, I knew that. Jason, that's kind of what I was saying, that you never cared for how much they went through.
Do you have any Beast Kingdom figures, Dylan?
I do not.
Or ever gotten any?
I have
no,
not.
but I've always been interested because they did the Dark Knight trilogy too, and the figures look good, but it's partially the scale that I don't get them. But their figures always look good. I've just never took the plunge.
They seem to do a good job on a lot of the animated ones. I know we've seen them for that. Like I know the Darkwing Duck one we covered.
Oh, I really wanted those Toy Story ones when those were announced.
Toy Story
I
ones.
may plunge on those still. Those are really cool.
You'll have to let us know about those. Those ones, would be probably considered classics years down the road for sure, if they're well done. I know, like some of the Disney ones, like the Pinocchio one, I actually considered. I was a huge Pinocchio fan back in the day too.
Yeah, me too.
They also have done like a Superman that's like kind of shiny. He's supposed to be from Justice League, but he's like shiny looking. I know they've also put out like a Steppenwolf from the original Justice League. I don't know.
Does Beast Kingdom do the Egg Attack figures too?
Egg Attack. I don't know.
You know the ones that are like small bodies and big heads that come with a bunch of. They do those?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's there. I look at them and I'm like, do I really want to spend that much? They seem spendy. But then, yeah, they always seem to look good. I've always stayed out of them, like you said, strictly because of the scale. That's what's kept me away from them. They do scales all over the place, but yeah, those eggheads. Wow, I'm looking at them right now. Those actually do look pretty cool.
Yeah, if you're into
the egg attack ones.
Kind of like a chibi or anime style of your character that you like that's kind of what they remind me of, but.
Interesting.
This figure looks good, man. I think it looks pretty damn good. The light up effect looks cool.
Yeah, for the eyes, it looks like it's got light up function there. So, anyways, that's all we got for the news. I also did want to outline Diamond Select. We don't cover them a ton because we never would have enough time on our show for them. But they announced 2 lines that might be interesting to a lot of people. 7-inch scale lines for Invincible. I know that's kind of pretty popular right now. But that's Invincible and Omni-Man they announced. They also did announce a Cobra Kai line.
Oh
They're,
man.
they're doing John Kreese, Daniel LaRussa, and Johnny Lawrence, it looks like. So
Dang.
just some good info there if anyone is interested. Yeah, I know, Eddie, you were big into that show, so.
Dude, Cobra Kai, it was like hype right around the same time as Mandalorian. If I had to pick one, I think I would pick Cobra Kai over
What?
Mandalorian. It's that good, dude. It is
Really?
that, if you're a Karate Kid fan, and like, you know, and you loved it that much, then, and you watch this, there is so much fan service. You get like backgrounds to characters you didn't get from the original. You get like, it's just something you didn't know the child in you wanted. You know what I mean? When you watch it, that's what you get. You get like an ending to a story and like a continuation. They did it really well. So I'm a huge Cobra Kai fan, dude.
So if Hot Toys would come out with a full line of Cobra Kai,
100%.
you would sell your Mando figures
I wouldn't
to get
sell. I would keep them both.
that. But you said that if you had to sell
Yeah,
one
if
of
I had to
them-
pick one, hell yeah, because
Really?
it's that good, dude. Maybe I was a bigger Karate Kid fan than Star Wars. I don't know, but it's good. It's really good.
Yeah, I was never into Karate Kid. I think I've still only seen it like one time, so that's why it's not high on my list. But I'll never knock someone for their likes more than like what is popular. I guess like to say you're a fan of Mandalorian is easy. I feel like, but to say that you like Cobra Kai more than that, that's not
Yeah.
easy to say. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Good for you. So we want to thank our Patreons. Sean, I'll have you read them off.
We want to thank all of our Patreons, starting with Ben Porter, Sean Fear, Ian CB, Renee Mendez, Eric Marcel, Quinn Aguirre, Leo Hernandez, King Louie, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Lisa Martin Baumsky, Baumsky, and Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krent, Big Fern, King Zachary, Cesar Marquin, Mike Cruz, Bo LeBoyd, Eric Ruiz, Mario Cortez, Stephen Percha, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Jesse Contreras, Stephen and Maria Stanley, Lord Voldemort, Eddie Manzanares, and Joe Corpus.
Yeah, love you guys. Thank you so much for all you do for the channel. I probably don't emphasize it enough how much we appreciate you, how much you were able to help me get this mic.
We have the
Upgrade
best Patreons, like
Yeah.
the best viewers. They did. I mean, I know we keep shouting them out, but Scott, Quinn, and Jason all donated for the meetup that we just did. They all donated for it. That's really awesome of you guys.
How was it, Eddie? How'd you like it?
It was awesome, dude. It was awesome hanging out with everybody, hanging out with Zach and barbecuing and like seeing their neighborhood and like it was amazing. Like I didn't even. Obviously, I'm not flying to Texas just to watch Godzilla versus Kong, you know?
Right.
Like, just hanging out with them was awesome.
What was like the big outstanding thing for you here? Like, what was like, oh, that's really different?
Different from Cali, you mean? Like
Yeah.
Texas, what stands out in Texas? Dude, the driving is insane. Like the way your roads are and like the different. Are you in Texas too, Sean?
I live in San Antonio, man.
Dude, where were you? Why didn't I go
was
hang out with
sick
you
as a
at least or
dog.
say hi?
I was
Dang,
sick as a dog.
I didn't know that.
Getting my second COVID shot.
Oh man. Well, next time I'll have to go at
Yeah,
least
man.
say hi to you.
I was
you know?
gonna say something. I was like, man, you know what? Let me get over there real quick or something like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
man,
I think.
I never got to hear your Whataburger experience.
Okay, so we'll talk about it briefly
Okay.
because I have things
Hell
to talk
yes.
about. Anyway, the crazy things I think about Texas are the roads are really different than Cali. Like they're complicated. There's a street light for every lane on the road, which is weird to me because it feels like I'm racing. Because in Cali, like,
I will
We
say
have-
it's very similar to North Dakota, so it was easy for me to drive there.
Oh,
when
yeah?
when I visited Texas, yeah.
in Cali, we have one street light for the straight lanes, and then there might be one or two for however many turning lanes are. But for you guys, you got like one for each turning lane, one for every lane. So there's like 5 street lights. I was like, it literally feels like I'm on a racetrack or something. So that was interesting, I guess. And then I don't know. It's weird to think like some fast food places out there aren't out here, and like you guys don't have Del Taco out there, which is like really popular here, Del Taco, and we don't have Taco Cabana over here.
Right.
I've never been to a Taco Cabana, and like Eddie Manzanares, he was freaking out when he like literally gasped in shock when I said, "What the hell is Taco Cabana?" So those are like the shocking things, I guess. And then as far as Whataburger, I love the Dr. Pepper shake. I think by far that was, and I don't even think that's a normal thing. I think it's like a limited edition thing right now, but that shit was good.
Nice.
So be honest, Eddie. Let's say Zach isn't watching right now, which he probably isn't. Would you say it's better than In-N-Out?
No, absolutely not. But I also don't think they're comparable. I was talking about this
I would
with
agree
my
with that.
uncles.
Okay,
That's
no,
fair.
Hold on, I gotta interrupt here because we got nothing up here. We don't have In-N-Out. We just got Chick-fil-A like 5 years ago where I'm at.
Well, that's
So
amazing. So
yeah, Chick-fil-A is so good. But so whenever we would travel, we'd say, okay, we gotta try In-N-Out because obviously that's super hyped up. We hear about it all the time. And my buddy and I had it in Vegas some years ago. I can't remember when but a couple times, and it was on the Strip, and I was so disappointed in it. But I thought about it, and I'm like, maybe that wasn't a good location, and I went again in Arizona, and it was much better then.
Mm-hmm.
But still, at that time, I'm like, I think my expectations for In-N-Out was just so high that I didn't understand what it was. Like, it's a very cheap type of thing where it's probably a more fair comparison to say, like, it's in the realm of like a McDonald's or Burger King, but like way better than those.
See, I think that way about Whataburger.
Really?
Yeah, and then Zach and Dean said this too, that maybe outside of California, In-N-Out isn't as good as everything else. Maybe you have to be in California to get the best In-N-Out. But for Whataburger, to me, when I go to In-N-Out, even though the prices are cheap, the food is fresher, and I feel like the quality is higher. Like, the fries are like fresh potatoes and stuff. Like, they're not frozen stuff. And when I went to Whataburger, I felt like it was like fast food. Like, this is a greasy burger with like greasy fries.
That's what I felt about In-N-Out when I went. So yeah, maybe it is. I just have to go and.
I've eaten In-N-Out twice ever in my life, right?
Yeah.
And each time I've had a burger, I was like, that was a really good like fresh burger, like, but it was like basic, your lettuce, your tomato.
Well, also you have to order, like, you can't just order a number one or whatever. You have to say, I want a double animal style. And if you like chilies, you get chilies on it, or grilled onions. You got to order like off the secret menu. You got to order like that. If you
and
just
what did you end up ordering?
From Whataburger, I got the first night we went. I got a patty melt because Rainer and Manny both said that was really good. And then the next time we went, while I was driving to Dallas, we stopped and I got the Buffalo Ranch chicken sandwich, like with the 3 chicken strip sandwich or whatever.
Right.
That was better than the patty melt to me. I like that sandwich a lot. But yeah, it's good. I just think they're just different, so I wouldn't compare them to each other. I'm thinking Whataburger is more comparable to like Carl's or Burger King. That's what I consider Whataburger like.
When do we get to hold
like, I don't even know if I could.
I hate hearing about how great of a time you had, Eddie, because you just lived out my dreams. You just lived out my dreams the whole time. But now I want to go when you go again too, because I want to see the whole shebang. I want to see you there too.
Well, wait 6 months and we can do a small talk in my new house in the media room and stuff.
That's timed perfectly because Zach said he wanted to do another theater rental in October. So
By then
Okay.
we should be moved in.
You know,
that's 6 months.
My birthday's in October.
So
yes,
is mine.
I do have Culver's. I don't know if that's Zach or Dean. I love Culver's. Culver's is legit.
See, I've never even heard of Culver's.
We have them
See-
all over the place because they're based out of Wisconsin, which is actually close to us, obviously up here. So, Culver's is pretty popular here. With they got like butter burgers and things like that. They're actually known for their ice cream. Instead of blizzards, they call them concrete mixers. So much better than a Dairy Queen blizzard.
Wow, that's saying a lot, dude.
Yeah.
It is.
fucking love Dairy Queen blizzards.
It's like a better version of Dairy Queen.
They showed that they have that animal cracker or animal cookie blizzard right now, and I want to get that. I want to try that.
Man, they had one that they did for Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was like, man, that one was so good, but I can't ever remember what it was called, so I can't get it anymore.
Oh man,
Yeah. But Eddie, next time you come down, we'll go to Tap Room in San Marcos.
what's tap room?
I like the sound of Tap Room.
Tap Room is amazing. It's the best burger in San Antonio is the best burger in San Marcos, and it's at Tap Room.
Wow. Okay, that's good to know because Zach and Dean didn't mention it at all. So, also, I was telling this
Zach
to
should
Dean
know about
yesterday.
it. He went to
Have-
Texas State.
Have you been to Florio's? Florio's?
No.
Or- it's a pizza
Oh,
place
the
out
pizza
there.
place.
Yeah, I wanna try that next time I go out there too. 'Cause
Well,
that's
then we'll
supposed to
take
be
you to
really
like
good pizza.
Frittels. You could try Frittels also.
What is
they have
Frittels?
Pizza, and in Fredericksburg too. They got a good pizza place it's called West Inn,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a nice little pizza joint.
Fuck,
Sounds
man, when
like-
I go, I'm gonna have to like take a week off just to like eat at different places the whole time.
Yep.
And I gotta see you, Sean. I know
Yep.
that I need to tell Damien that I'm there so he can make a travel down. Obviously, see all the buds in San Antonio. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Event that will happen someday. It's been like last year was the year it was gonna happen, and of course COVID hit, so it never did.
Yeah, man.
But
sucks.
that's definitely in the plans. I'm so excited to see everyone. And you know, if any of
See,
the
we should do at the movie rental. We should do an episode of like collecting weekly and just kind of do like round table kind of thing, you know?
yeah, if any of the Patreons
cool.
are from San Antonio, which I know quite a few of them are, I'll have to see you guys too. But April benefits, we got the CW Live sticker and Ox Plays sticker, and then for May Patreon benefits, there's the Collecting Weekly Live unboxing sticker, which is new. That looks... I like the logo for Collecting Weekly Live unboxing. Oh, by the way, for anyone, we got 14 people tuning in randomly here at the end of the show. Everyone who is listening and listens to the podcast, if you tune in to next show, we will have a giveaway. I'm going to give away the Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man, the comic book version. Let me grab them quick. And
Oh man.
possibly some more. So for sure one of them's going to be a random draw, and the other one is Sean. I didn't run this by you, but I want to get ideas for our logo for Small Talk,
Yes.
blending in with collecting comics. I want to stay away from any sort of copyright issues, you know, because in 5 years we're going to be million strong. So I don't want to run into anything. I want it to be original, I guess, to put it easy. And if we pick yours, you'll get something from me for sure. Probably figure related. I might give you choices. Not sure. Danny, I know you run into this too, so let me know if you have any ideas or anything there. We need some help with our logo, so we are all down for that. Now, to get into the Patreon tiers, I guess, the first one is the Sweet Angel. You get a sticker sent straight to your door, as well as access to Ox After Dark, which is a fantastic show. I was tuning in to the last nights before this one. It was drama filled. It was pretty much Days of Our Lives. It was good. The next tier is Certified Crispy at $15 a month. You get the same things as the other tier, and then an official Certified Crispy certificate to put with your figures that you really like. And then assistance with figure fixes by Zach. He'll fix anything. Just message him before and give him shit if he says he can't. It's his fault. And then all benefits of the previous tier. And then, speaking of What a Burger, we got the What a Guy tier at $25 a month. That one you get a signed Collecting Weekly Live 18 by 24 silhouette poster on first pledge, doubles of all the stickers, and one sculpt a year painted by Darkside Customs with Ian over there. That's after 3 months of pledging. That in itself is worth it for sure. I know quite a few people have done work, especially even like us hosts have done work with him. I have not yet, but it's coming down the pipeline for sure.
Yeah.
And then same with our sponsor at Waddle Scrapyard. I think I'm finally gonna bite the bullet and try and have him get me a better sculpt for John Wick for my Mezco figure there. Zach also wanted to point out too, for everyone, I believe T Republic is 35% off right now. They're doing a special promo. If you the one that you definitely have to make sure to get besides the small talk is the Gooch Grease.
Yeah, I saw that one. I kind of want it too. Because I only have
around the mall with that.
I only have a Fuck That Guy and the Collecting Weekly, the breast cancer, the pink one. So I need to get another shirt.
I have the OG one here, right here. That's the only one I have. I really like the Only Fools, the Only Fans, Only Fools shirt. That one's really good.
Yeah.
Hey, if we're gonna be official, Zach should just buy him. Wear him for each show.
Well, I'll probably, to be honest, a lot of what we get, what Zach was talking about last night from our Patreons, will be going back into the show for me. I love to do giveaways for whatever reason. It's super fun for me to do giveaways. I love giving people things that I'm interested in as well. It's like with Dean when he won that Predator, even though he was a host and I was kind of disappointed in that. He definitely said that he was impressed with it and got him on the NECA train there, and love that. Love when I get to get people into things that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise been into. But here is a good list of our show. We got Small Talk, which you're listening to now every other Thursday. Our podcast will be going up to be uploaded next Thursday. I'm also going to start working on some guests as well, seeing what we can do there with some collabs. Collecting Weekly Live is every Tuesday. We got OFAC, Only Fools and Collecting, our British folks. Ian and Pete and Steve, I believe, is on sometimes or once a month. And they alternate Thursdays with us. We got Collecting Rarities. I think Rainer said this Sunday is when he is.
So.
They should be talking about keyboards, I think is this Sunday's topic.
I'll be listening to that for sure. That's an interesting one. It's a dangerous one though for me because it's so easy for me to get hooked on something else collecting.
I know, man.
The Joy of Hobbing, the in and outs of collecting are. I think that he is on a mini hiatus, Mario, right?
He'll be on tomorrow. I might be on there too.
Okay.
It's gonna be him and John at 8 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you. Collecting Collecting Weekly Live Unboxing. That is our new show. After dark. That is Wednesdays and Saturday nights, and then kind of whenever they feel like as well. Great show there. A lot of fun to be a part of and just listen in on. Honestly, it's It's a good one. That's where you'll find all the drama and the hosts
Nah.
arguing and Eddie going against the king.
I know.
Oh, I'm always siding with you, Eddie. Ox
Thank you.
plays.
I need someone in my corner.
Oh yeah, well I'm always there. Don't worry. Every once in a while, like they say in Super Troopers, gotta knock Zach down a peg or two every once in a while.
Exactly.
Dean does a good job with that. But anyways, it was a good show, guys. I felt like 2 hours and 14 minutes flew by fast. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this week's episode of Small Talk, the show where we talk about absolutely nothing important. See you next time. Good night.
See you guys.
Bye.